Violence in West Bengal has escalated as 3 have been killed in Murshidabad and South 24 Parganas amidst Waqf protests. These deaths over the last couple of days. The Trinamool Congress has accused the BJP of a conspiracy, alleging fake videos fueled the unrest, while the BJP has hit out at the Trinamool's inaction, calling it the darkest chapter in the history of Bengal.
সবাইকে বলবো শান্তিপূর্ণভাবে গণতান্ত্রিক আন্দোলন করার অধিকার সকলের আছে উইথ পারমিশন, বাট প্লিজ দয়া করে সে যেই হোক, এ বি সি ডি ই এফ জি এই যেই বা হোক, আইন কখনো হাতে তুলে নেবেন না। আইনের জন্য তো আইনের রক্ষক আছে, আইনের ভক্ষক তো দরকার নেই। তাই আপনাদের অনুরোধ করব, কেউ কেউ প্ররোচনা দেবে কোনো ব্যাপারে, কিন্তু প্ররোচিত হবেন না। প্ররোচনার সময় যে মাথা ঠান্ডা রাখে সেই তো আসল জয় করে, তাই তো আসল জয় হয়।
Well, joining us now, Shishir Bajoria of the BJP will be joined by Manojit Mondal, the political analyst and Trinamool Congress supporter, Shikha Mukherjee, the senior journalist with us as well. Mr. Bajoria, the Trinamool Congress says the BJP has had a direct role in fueling unrest with misinformation. How would you respond?
This is the biggest, unfortunate and a sad joke. It was the chief minister, none less than the chief minister, who fueled this. She even, few months back, she said in the assembly, Bangla mein boli, main English mein bolta hu, that if this happens, will you all be able to control yourself? What you've just said, that this is the biggest, the darkest day in Bengal, I can only compare this to a day which none of us on the channel today have seen. The direct action day, 16th of August 1946. Yes, Didi, Shikhadi, I know you're surprised. I'm quoting that because that was a planned slaughter of Hindus. Today, that kind of slaughter has not taken place, but Hindus have had to leave their own homes. They have had to leave. And what does the honorable minister of this government say? So what? They have gone to another part of the state. He acknowledges that they have been driven out of their homes. Is this not their own homeland? This is a state, let's not forget, her milk cows may be 30% or 32%. 70% or 68% is Hindus. This is where she's playing with fire.
Okay,
and
one second.
See what has happened now.
One second, let me get a response to that. Manojit Mondal joins us. Yes. Go ahead and respond to that, but also respond to this question. Mamata Banerjee declared on the 9th of this month that this act, that the Waqf Act will not be enforced in the state. How can she legally do that?
But she has said it categorically. But when did she incite violence as per the statement from the BJP? Why is this spreading this rumor? Not questioning Sukanta Mehta. Look at these pictures that they're doing rounds everywhere. And who has incited the violence? It will be tumbling out very soon. And we are very confident that the BJP has got its wrong hand, nasty hand in it. That the things are coming out, the narratives are coming out. 2 persons, one of them is from Bihar, both of them from Bihar, very young men. They have been arrested by the police in Murshidabad. One identifies himself as Ashish Kumar. Everyone knows in this country and even in the world that who creates this riot-like situation and who gets political dividends in this kind of situation. There are researchers everywhere in the world. And look at the kind of statement from BJP. I'm not talking about this spokesperson. The minister, Sukanta Majumdar, the MLAs, I was in a different debate just a few minutes ago. The statement, the Hindu shops, Hindu people, Hindu assets, for God's sake,
but
people are suffering,
but
people
Manojit,
are dying, they are citizens of this country.
Remarks made by your own leaders?
The dead bodies as Hindus and Muslims?
What about remarks made by the chief minister?
What about remarks made by your own leader, Manojit? For example, as I understand it, Bapi Haldar said, spoke about gouging out the eyes of those opposing Waqf properties. We'll get that line back with him, but Mr. Bajoria, go ahead with the point that you were mentioning.
It is our chief minister. She is my chief minister also. She said we will not let this happen. And where does she say this? She says it in the Jain community program. I can understand your pain. Hey, bhaiya, Jain community program. She was only using it as a platform. By the way, if she was serious, how come she never even issued a show cause notice to the MPs who did not vote despite a whip from her party? Basic idea, create the riot, create this fight, create fire all around. Today she was in Kalighat inaugurating the skywalk. Did she mention a word? No. This is what she does.
We'll get back Monojit Mondal in a moment. Shikha Mukherjee, in this war of words between the BJP and the Trinamool Congress, is this, is this basically the game plan ahead of the next assembly elections? Communalize and polarize, whichever way you look at it. Can you unmute yourself, Shikhadi?
I'm not on mute.
Yeah, you're fine now. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So to answer your question, and it's a good question, that is this ahead of the 2026 election? 2021 election, same narrative. 2024 Lok Sabha election, the same narrative. Infiltration from Bangladesh, the Muslim appeasement. This is a party which has and an administration which is so soft on the Muslims that it is anti-Hindu. The words were used, anti-Hindu. If you remember, there was this great campaign that was run about how Durga Puja was being obstructed by the government, and that Durga Puja was not being allowed to be celebrated in West Bengal. Now, if that is the narrative that was set several years ago, there is no reason why the playbook is going to be changed at this point. Because this is the kind of narrative that we have been seeing, say, in the Jharkhand election, where the Bangladeshis became a critical issue of who was local and who was not local, of how women from the tribal communities were being seduced and taken away, or their lands were being appropriated by immigrants from Bangladesh. The Rohingyas were part of the narrative. So there is no reason to expect that in the 2026 election, the same narrative will not dominate through polarization, through communalization. What is different this time, and I think this is dangerous, is that the Waqf issue has created a certain kind of tension, a certain kind of conflict. And what is it about? I mean, years ago, I can't even remember how many years ago, I remember doing a story on Waqf. It was all about how much land Waqf properties had in West Bengal, and the kind of landmark places that they had, from the Tully Club to the Royal Calcutta Golf Club to swathes of property, land on Dalhousie Square and in adjacent areas in half of Taliganj, half of other places. So, and there is a reason for it. Why? Because there were three huge, rich Muslim families that were exiled, and they were exiled not by you and me or any government of India. They were exiled by the British government. Murshidabad, the Tipu Sultan family, and the Awadh family. So if you have all of these people there with so much land and so much property, there is a tension. There is an inbuilt tension with the Waqf Board, with the amendment to the Waqf Act. So that is going to create another layer of confrontation and conflict within the already very strained, very tense, polarized politics in West Bengal, which we have been seeing for the last 10 years. I think this is a kind of dangerous inflection point.
No, it is. Monojit Mondal, we lost your line, and Mr. Bajori, I'll come to you after that. Monojit, you were accusing the BJP of polarizing, but is it not true that your own MPs like Bapi Haldar have been making remarks of those opposing Waqf properties, which are extreme and also serve to polarize.
No, I was not accusing BJP of polarizing. They do. There has been research everywhere, with bigger universities also, that whenever there would be communal force, communal violence, communal tension, BJP gets political dividends. That's a fact.
No, but aren't you doing the
Uttar
same
Pradesh
thing?
classic
Is it not true that Bapi Haldar said that he would gouge out the eyes of those opposing Waqf properties?
I have not heard him saying this. Probably he is an MP from South 22 Parganas. Why nothing is happening? Right now, I am sitting on the road. I'm doing the show from an adjoining district of Murshidabad, that is Birbhum. Nothing is happening. Only in 2 pockets of Murshidabad, things were out of control. But for the last 2 days, absolutely calm and quiet. If the ADG BSA, this afternoon, made this press conference immediately after the ADG Law and Order of Bengal, saying that things are under control. The things escalated because of, in certain pockets, because of the outsiders. And over 200 people were arrested. 200 people. I think West Bengal police have done a commendable job. But the fact remains, Mr. Vishnu Shaw, when 5 years ago, 53 people were killed under the nose of Mr. Amit Shah in Delhi. No questions were raised. Amit Shah is still doing fine.
No, questions are raised everywhere.
Manipur is still burning.
So
Manipur is still burning.
No, let's talk about Bengal now, and let us not obfuscate.
Yeah, there lies the problem, because
No. Questions have been raised about Manipur. Questions have been raised about other places. So, but that's a false equivalence. I'm sorry. Talk about Bengal today.
Manipur is suffering also because of Waqf. Manipur is suffering also because of Waqf.
That doesn't justify. The situation in Bengal doesn't justify. You cannot justify one place and another.
Who is justifying? Then
you cannot compare one and the other. We are talking about Bengal.
Then please acknowledge, Mr. Bengal. Manipur was terrible wrong. So was Delhi.
Of course it's wrong. Of course wrong. Any instance of communal violence is horrific. It doesn't matter who is, which party or which force. It is all wrong. We are talking about Bengal today. Stick to the facts.
The violence took place here. There was law and order issue, but this was turned into communal violence because of BJP.
Okay, let me get a response from Shishir Bajoria.
Yesterday,
is it not true, Mr. Bajoria? One sec, sir. You've had your point. Let Mr. Bajoria also come in. He's waited. Is it not true that BJP leaders like Shukanto Majumdar have labelled protesters as jihadi groups, thereby alleging the Trinamool Congress's inaction against violence targeting Hindus? I mean, aren't statements like this also inciting violence?
Vishnu, first of all, let me react to His Lordship Manojit Mandal. And I'm using the word His Lordship because when you said these are serious allegations, he said these are not allegations. He pronounced a judgment. And my dear friend is sitting in Birbhum and it's all peaceful to him. And he's saying, where in South 24? Where is Bhangur? Bhangur is not in South 24, but he is in Birbhum. It's all peaceful. No. Arey bhai, bahut badhiya. Now let me come to the point which, Vishnu, you have just made. BJP leaders, Shukanto Majumdar, our state president and an MOS, what did he say? He went to the people who have been, whose homes have been burned, who have been driven out of their homes.
This is your president. This is your president.
No, let's not fight. Go ahead.
Lordship, for today's program, you are now the judge because you passed judgment. Now, please. Hold
on. Manojit, let's let him have his say.
And I'm coming to...
He didn't interrupt you.
I'm coming to this spokesperson who cannot even acknowledge that he's Trinamool. He comes as a specialist. When he talks about Manipur, Vishnu, one thing is very clear. That means he has nothing more to talk about.
Manojit, let's not.
I don't need certificate from you. At least I don't change my color. You are a turncoat. Everyone knows this.
All right, okay. Bring his sound down,
please.
Yes,
I've changed my party. I've changed my party. Arey Babu, you don't even have a party. Call yourself a Trinamool spokesperson.
Answer the question, sir. Is there anything further? You've got 30 seconds left, Mr. Bajoria.
Our state president went to stand by the people whose homes have been burned, people who have been driven out, who have been beaten. We have had 3 deaths. And what is he talking about, getting people arrested?
All right.
And in fighting two people from Bihar? Our state, our people, our leaders, including the LOP, including our state president, went to stand by the people who have been driven out of their own homes. Because my chief minister does not believe in standing there because her milk cows are the perpetrators.
All right,
calls
okay,
them
we'll
milk
leave it
cows.
over there. We'll need to wrap this up. I'm completely out of time. I'd like to thank you all very much for being with us.